When starting a new job, we must all go through training to learn our roles in our new positions. Firefighters are no exception, and in order to become a full-fledged firefighter, recruits must go through extensive training. This training is held twice a year in East Tennessee and prepares the recruits for what they will face on the job. Hazmat Training is an example of one of these subjects covered. Here's Assistant Chief Tommy Castle to tell us more.
This is the what would be considered the fall recruit school for the Northeast Regional Fire Training Academy, and it's made up of all the departments who have hired new personnel that need to come to recruit school in Northeast Tennessee, from about Newport to Bristol. Some years, some classes may have 5 from one department and 2 from another. All departments are not always represented for the recruit school, but this class is pretty well represented for the whole Northeast Tennessee region, this particular class. When they finish recruit school, they will come out of there and then they will have the required prerequisites and all of that to be able to test for firefighter level 1 and level 2 also. Those tests, they have to apply with the state, and the state representatives from the Fire Commission will come in and administer those tests to them, and depending on whether they pass or fail those will determine whether they get those certifications. But once recruit school's over, they will come back to their departments. The entire recruit school, when they finish the recruit school, they will have 400 hours invested in recruit school. This particular week is obviously, it's 5 days, it's 40 hours, which covers hazmat awareness and hazmat operations. Awareness level is taught as the first one because it teaches the students how to arrive on a scene, know that there could be a hazardous material involved, how they should isolate the scene and deny any entry into it, and also allows them to recognize that and realize that they need additional resources, and they can call additional resources to help. Then after the awareness part on the first day, the rest of the week is spent on operations at the operations level. That level teaches the students how to set up decontamination, how to put on a hazardous material chemical suit and work in it. It also builds on some more awareness of the awareness level skills by recognizing, identifying, and all of that, and goes a little bit deeper into those two things. It also gives them the ability to learn how to do some limited defensive operations that doesn't take them directly into contact with whatever the hazardous material is. Today is the finishing day of this week, and it's all about skills. It's all about setting up decon, all about putting on that hazardous material chemical suit, and learning those skills, which they will be tested on next week. They will have to be able to do these skills to be able to pass these 2 levels of certification. We have an emergency response guide. That book itself contains, and if you tried to build a book that covered information on every hazardous material that is out there, it would be so thick you couldn't carry it around. The ERG takes 2,000 of the 2,000 of the chemicals that are transported by rail, air, sea, and on cargo trucks and stuff every day, and puts those in that book. They could range from something as simple as something we see every day moving up and down the road, gasoline. Most guys, it's not something you have to look up to know how to handle and work with gasoline pretty much. And then it goes into chemicals that are so difficult to pronounce when you're dealing with them, and they could be in a liquid form, a solid form, a gaseous form. which is commonly the more dangerous, because when you work in a gaseous environment, vapor environment, then you're going to get it on you because it's in the air. But anyway, the chemical names are so difficult that we teach that when you're given information that you spell it, because just one letter misspelling on some of this stuff could be the difference between whether it's like mildly bad or seriously bad. They will actually have 150 question tests next week also that they have to pass. The awareness and operations level are two prerequisites for when the end of the recruit school arrives. The last 2 weeks of recruit school will be what's called hazardous material technician level. At that level, they will review all of the things that they've went through this week and build on that, and they will be certified as technicians, which will allow them to go down range to a hazardous material incident or release and do offensive operations, like tighten up a leaking valve, actually working in close proximity to the hazardous materials to mitigate it, to take care of it, to stop it. So it's a lot of training, it's intense, but the students that we have in recruit school are super. They put their heart and soul into this, and they study hard, and they always do such a great job. One thing that I'm really proud of is that I have to mention is that when the curriculum for hazmat awareness and hazmat operations changed about 2 years ago, this school, Northeast Tennessee, I can proudly say it has the only 100% pass rate success in the state of Tennessee. And that's 3 classes now that have had a 100% pass rate. All the instructors, there's 2 main instructors who coordinate the recruit school, who are the training officers for Kingsport Fire Department. Then our department and all the other departments all have a stake in it, and during different parts of the class, instructors are sent from our department as well as all the other departments. The instructors, and although I'm one of them, they've thrown a lot of credit to the instructors, but I have to go back and say, I think we're just that extra tool that stands and presents it to them. I go back to the students because I think the guys from this area who come through recruit school, they have a lot of heart and passion for what they're doing, and I think it's them applying themselves and studying really hard, paying attention to every direction they're given. So I attribute that success to them, really. For me personally, what makes a good firefighter is whether you've been exposed to this type of work or not, if you can develop heart and passion for helping others, then that is what, to me, drives you to accomplish recruit school and do well in it and things. And it carries from, not only from school, but it carries back over to the job when you come back out of recruit school, back in to the station and you start running calls. You have to develop those things, and I think they're the most important. And you have to develop a genuine care for others, because you're called every day to help strangers that you don't even know. But you need, when you're called to do that, you need to go and help them just like you would help somebody that you love and care about every day.